welcome back to a game of Fangs and Thorns. My name's Hannah. This is a weekly reading vlog. Now, housekeeping, because there's always housekeeping involved with me, isn't there? I did start a vlog for last week, but one, I didn't do much reading, and two, I ended up getting distracted by various things. If you weren't aware, last week on the Tuesday, the 23rd of May, it was my birthday. So while I didn't do anything on the actual birthday, that week and tomorrow, the rest of the week was a little bit higgledy-piggledy. So there were a few clips, but I'll probably not put them in. So, where did we leave off? So, on the Sunday, I think it was, or the Monday, either way, I ended up DNFing Montrose Paranormal Activity, which was the read I left off on, I think. I got to page 100 and just wasn't interested. Our main character, Lucy, I want to say, she read very young and I just couldn't get behind anything. I just didn't really care, basically. And that book went back to Kindle Unlimited store, which is fine because not every book is going to be good for me, and just because I didn't particularly enjoy a book doesn't mean anybody else will, and they may enjoy it for the reasons that I disliked it. So for that reason, I had to DNF it. It just wasn't for me. So then I picked up The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, and I am slowly working my way through that. If you don't know, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is the first in the Millennium series, which follows Lisbeth Salander, who is a bit of a punk anarchist, who is a cyber hacker type character who has been called to investigate a case for fraud, I think. I'm trying not to give you too much because I am like a fair old bit in, I think. I have it out of shot, I just can't be bothered to reach over and grab it. So we have that, and then while I was reading Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and enjoying it, it's very adult, so the writing style is a little bit more dense to what I have currently been reading. I've been tidying my room. Now you can't see it because I have you facing, I have you resting on my TBR car, which has had a complete overhaul as well, and most of the damage, tidying, rearranging is behind you, and I am not showing you because I don't want to, and it is still fairly messy. I have the books that I need to put on Vinted up there, and some clothes that I can't find anywhere else for, but they're just t-shirts, so it doesn't matter if they're just sort of on a pile. They are in a pile, they are in boxes. The boxes are just in the middle of the floor because I've got nowhere else to put them. But they're just t-shirts, so that's okay. It's nothing nice, it's nothing special. And like I say, I have the books that need to go on Vinted. I do need to pop out to the post office today to post one because unfortunately I missed it in an order. As usual, the Vinted details will be down below. I have a stack of books that I've just pulled out for my TBR. I'm just resting on them because they're a nice height while I talk to you. So this vlog will probably run from Sunday to next Monday, so it'll be about a week and an extra weekend. Monday is a bank holiday in the UK, so depending on how long I babble on for in this one, it might just be a weekend vlog to get me back on track for Monday to do a new one, so we shall see. So what do I have to do today other than post office trip, and what do I want to show you? Oh yes, I got some new Traveller's notebooks. I have this one, and I have the exact same in an A4 size, so it's just a bit bigger. But look at the detail. So we have like this purple leather with the silver spine and little suns. In this one, Oh, and this came from Ultra here. Ultra leather. I'll put the link in Etsy. I also got some pen clips by the Inspired Stories on Etsy as well. But this is my A6 one. It is very full because in here I have my Hobonichi Cousin, which is my main planner. My Filofax. Can you see this? That was my phone. My Filofax notebook, which is just like my writing notebook, my writer's notebook for usually when I'm at work and can't take the big one with me. Then we have my reading journal, and this is just Elrohier, ELROHEIR. This is just a little insert that came with the cover. It's just plain purple pages on a brown book, and I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but we'll just keep it in here for now. So I have to fill in my May wrap up. I know I have a couple of days left, like a week, but I don't think I'm going to finish The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in a week. If I do, great. If I don't, I'll just make a start on June's TBR, because Wheel of Time is on there. But if I don't, it's not the end of the world. So I just have my ratings to go through, the genre and the audience. I'll do that as a pie chart. This is up to date. This is just a read 9 by 1. That is a yearly page. And then we have the reviews. Now I'm going to set up for June as well. I have some scenes in the writing notebook that need to get put in the big one, so I'll show you the traveler's notebook for that. But I just love it because that one is an A4, so if it's the smaller notebooks and some exercise, I've got like 2 chunky paper chase notebooks in there, and then some exercise books and some loose papers that I must have ripped out from the notebook at some point that start the story. So we have this one for journaling and every day. It's not that heavy actually. I think it's just bulky, but I love it. And then the other one is obviously the same. I don't know if I ever showed you, but Little Piece of Magic was in a little folio, like a notebook, a hardback notebook holder. I still have that. That's just holding some. I'm using that as a binder, basically. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to pop these on the rest of the TBR card. Pop the TBR card back. Have something to eat because I'm hungry and it's nearly lunchtime. And then I'm probably just going to. I will have to go to the post office at some point. I know that. I don't know why I'm putting it off. And then I also want to put some photos up on Vinted. I don't know why I'm pointing 2 different areas there. Probably because I take photos against this wall with the fairy lights turned on. I've been babbling for about 10 minutes already. So I think that's a sign to go downstairs, have some chill, maybe make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and just have 5-10 minutes just reading to myself, reading so I can just have a break, have a Kit Kat, except I don't have any Kit Kats, but you get the idea. So I'll come back to you in a bit. Sunday, I know, a Sunday morning update, but I'm just getting ready to go out because a Hive, which is our local coffee shop, is hosting a little artsy festival, and I'm not seeing James until later. We're going to the pictures, the cinema, so I figured I've got time to kill, so I'm just going to have something. I don't know if I'm going to have something to eat here or if I'm just going to go straight over. I think I'll probably just go straight over and get something there, but we shall see. Hi guys, it's Monday. I have pretty much just woken up, so I'm having breakfast, but apologies if you can hear the washing machine. But yesterday I did end up going to the little folk festival at the local coffee shop / museum. It was good. I enjoyed myself. I didn't get much footage because it was still because it just felt weird. And then I am getting a bit more further with the girl with the dragon tattoo. Everything that's happening on the back is starting to happen now, and I'm only like 100 or so pages in, so we finally figure out why they were all connected. But I have my reading blanket with me, so I can update that. I have one more route to do and then that's up to date. And as today is a bank holiday in the UK, I don't really think I'm going to do much today. But if anything happens, I will come back and let you know. It's Wednesday. I have news. So, Sunday I did go to the festival. I don't know if I told you, but I did go to the festival. And then I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a very good film. But then on Monday, so yesterday, my boyfriend unfortunately broke up with me. So, no, it was the day before. It's Tuesday yesterday. So obviously, after I spoke to you on Monday, it was a bit of a shock. And I just needed some alone time. And then Tuesdays, you know, I don't really vlog on Tuesday night anyway because rehearsal. So, yeah. I don't know what is going on with my hair, but I have just gotten back in, so I'm taking off the bike gear. So, don't worry, I'm not stripping on camera. I'm taking off my bike pants. So in terms of that, not a great start to the week, but reading wise, let me just shove things out of the way. Reading wise, I am still working through The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and things are starting to come together. Don't know if I told you, but Lisbeth and Mikhail don't actually meet until very late on in the story, when things are starting to come together. So that's happened. I think I'm on like page 300 of 500. So there's that. I lost my nail on Tuesday, to the point where I actually can't find it, and they're reusable. So there's probably an index finger nail lying around somewhere. So I took the rest of them off, and I'm going to put a new set on tonight. And I think that's it for this update, unless I finish The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and then I will come back to you. I think this whole vlog has pretty much been filmed on my phone because my iPad has died and I keep forgetting to charge it. Anywho, it's now Friday. You will have seen in the B-roll. Can I pop you down somewhere? That will do. But yeah, it's now Friday. You've probably seen in the B-roll that I started A Song of Ice and Ruin by Roseanne Abraham. So that means that I finished The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and let me preface what I'm about to say next. A 3-star to me is not a bad rating. It just means it was average. Stick cube, just the Apple Pencil. Put me back on top of the apple, because otherwise I lose it. But it just means it was an average rating. Nothing's too special. But I will continue with the series, obviously. But yeah, I ran The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo through Corpile. I do have my reading notebook just there, I just can't be bothered to get it. It has the full breakdown, but we'll talk more about that in the next episode of Read 9 by 1, because obviously Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was book 7. Oh, I have a hole in my jumper. Oh well. And I did enjoy it. There were aspects of it that I did enjoy, aspects that I didn't. The reveal at the end was a bit left field, for me anyway, because I didn't see it coming. Why have I opened this? I don't want that yet. And I did enjoy it. for the most part. They were just it took a while to get going, and I didn't immediately click with the writing style. Yes, I took the nails off again. But Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. We are back in the fantasy genre, the YA fantasy genre. I'm about to start chapter 4 on page 44. All fours. But basically, if you didn't know, this follows Malik and Karina. Malik is a refugee, and his people are very mistreated. They are very looked down upon by the rest of the Empire in the desert. And he and his sisters, Nadia and Layla. Nadia is younger, are trying to escape to the desert city of Zoran to obviously start a new life. And then Karina is the princess. She is, I mean, I could tell you on the back, but basically we have a contest in Solstasia, which is a festival in Zoran. Karina is in charge, basically. She's grieving her mother, and she decides to resurrect her mother through ancient magic. The resurrection ritual requires the beating heart of a king, so she offers to marry the competitor of the Solstasia competition. Now, this hasn't happened in the book yet, but it is on the back, so it's not spoilers. So far, I guess I'm just 3 chapters in. So far, we've met Malik and we have met Karina. Oh, excuse me. Malik is trying to get into the city. He stops and listens to a griot storyteller, and it hits the fan. His sister Nadia answers a riddle and gets abducted. We haven't got to the deal part yet, but Malik makes a deal with that spirit for Nadia's freedom. He says he'll kill Karina. And Karina, we've just met her too. She is disguised as a musician, and a fairly good one, going by the response to her music. But so far, so good. It's a little bit too early to say what my initial rating is, what my initial thoughts are, but it's an easy enough writing style, and I am looking forward to see how it progresses. How many pages are in here? 466, so I have a way to go. But it's Friday. I can stay up late reading, and I will probably come back to you in a bit. Hi guys, it's Saturday. As you'll have just seen from the little ASMR clip, I'm writing. Well, technically I'm typing, but I'm typing up the Little Piece of Magic manuscript. I had to think there. I have this thing where I can't type it out straight away. I have to write it on paper. So I have my A4 traveller's notebook set up. I think I showed you at the beginning of this vlog. But I have that set up with 1, 2 slightly shorter notebooks, a couple of exercise books, and then 3 A4 just notebooks. And I've just been working on that this morning. I did my nails last night. What do we think? Do we like the little French tip with a little bit of sparkle detail? I like it. I think we'll get this set again. It's annoying when I do my nails because this nail and this nail are the same size. Most ready-made, excuse me, sorry, and at least I found most of the false nail kits that you get in like supermarkets and Boots and places like that, and possibly online as well, only have 2 of each size. Yeah. So I have a right hassle trying to find a set that A, I like, and then B, 2 of those sets, or a set that would go. But I was really lucky with the set that these came in because everything, there are nails in there that fit both hands. Like, I can get a full set out of them with spares that fit for another one. So I've probably done something wrong there, but hey ho, they look nice, and I can type slower, but I can type. Have I told you about Little Piece of Magic? I think I have, but in case you're interested, I'll do a quick recap. But Little Piece of Magic is a YA paranormal fantasy involving witches and werewolves predominantly so far. I'm a pantser, so I don't really plot, I just write what comes to mind, which means editing is always fun. But anyway, Little Piece of Magic. It follows Riley, who is a witch, and she is striking out on her own. She's living with her friend Ivy next door, or over the road, in their flat over the road to Chase and his son Oscar, who are human. Riley and Ivy are both witches. And Riley, is grieving the loss of her old life. She's trying to get over a breakup, which has left her physically and emotionally scarred in more ways than one. And she is dealing with the fact that the witches are a very matriarchal society. Riley was pretty much left in the care of her dad. He was a young dad by her mother, and she has no idea who her mother is, which is hard enough. But Riley is also what I'm calling an heir, which is the first of a bloodline. So Riley's mother has never, somewhere along the, normally the witches are able to trace bloodlines to say, right, you are the heir to this bloodline, so your father and your mother have never met, you would hope. They're not related in any way, and you are the first of that bloodline. Your father and your mother's families have never bred, for want of a better word. And because nobody knows who Riley's mother is, they can't track that bloodline. so that leaves her in a bit of a catch-22. She has a status and she's treated like an A, but she isn't official, in brackets, because obviously we know she's official, everybody knows she's official. The A's have gold flecks in their eyes, which is pretty foolproof. Oh, I love my magic system. So there's that. Riley's ex is a piece of work, and I hate writing scenes when he's involved. But he's also the English Queen's nephew. He's the son of the Scottish Queen. So there's some interesting dilemmas there. And he abused Riley, basically, but because of his power and his influence, only Riley's closest friends and only some of her family believe her. So she's dealing with all of that, and then she meets Hunter, who's Chase's brother. Hunter is a werewolf. I'm not 100% sure on what I'm doing with Chase and Oscar yet. Whether I want them just human or not. Because if they're human, that means Hunter would have to have a different dad. But that's plans for... We don't need to go into that just yet. And Hunter reveals to Riley that he is her soulmate. Now, the witches don't have them, but it is individual belief whether or not you believe in soulmates. Riley does, in the sense that she has Fang, who is her familiar, and she counts Ivy as her platonic soulmate, her sister from another mister, as you would. So they have to navigate that relationship, as well as the ghosts from Riley's past. And for some reason, the Queen has decided that it would be a good idea to open up the witch pageant, which is a little bit like the Bridgerton Ball. It started off as a way to... I'm sorry if you can see the reflection of the telly in my glasses. But the witch pageants sort of started off as an FU to the witch hunters and were a way to covertly add members to their covens. Now it's just a pageant. It's all pomp and ceremony. There is the aspect of matchmaking still involved in it, because a lot of different witches and... what am I going to call them? Boy witches. Witches and their brothers, let's just say. They don't really get a chance to interact too much on a big scale, so there is that. I haven't got to that part yet, but yeah, that's the gist of A Little Piece of Magic. I've wrote up to chapter 6. I'm not quite finished chapter 6, and I've typed up to chapter 4. So what you saw there was just a little bit of an ASMR moment. And yeah, so when I get tired of that or I've caught up, I'm going to read A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. I'm not that much further into, I can't really tell you too much more, but I am intrigued. The intrigue is definitely there. The writing is fairly easy to get into. It's hard to say if it's gone the same way as The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because I'm not really putting off reading it. I want to read it, I'm just having to prioritise other things right now. So that's my fun Saturday: typing, writing, and reading. Hi guys, it's now Sunday. Let me just pop you down there. Confessions and apologies. I didn't read anything yesterday. I got up to date with the manuscript. It's all typed up to date. It's not finished, but the digital copy is now up to date with the physical copy. And then I started watching the Queen Charlotte show on Netflix, the Bridgerton one. And then I fell asleep. So it's like 11:45 now. The rest of the day will be spent reading Song of Ice and Ruin. I don't think I'm going to finish it, but you never know. And I may come back to update this vlog, I may not, guys. And so I'm now just popping back in to close out the vlog. This is a curtain. It's in the way, but we'll just leave it there because we're closing out this vlog. So it's about 6:10 on Sunday. I did get to the 91 page mark. Oh, I thought I was further in, but basically at this point pretty much everything apart from Karina announcing the prize for the Celstasia Festival has happened. Malik's little sister Nadia has been taken by the spirit, the open. It did say, come on. But it did say what type of spirit had taken Nadia, but I can't find it. So that's happened, and we have the assassination of the Kestrel, who is the Sultana Karina's mother. That's happened. The talk of the Celstasia prize has been mentioned, but it wasn't announced, and I'm guessing because the Kestrel is dead, that Karina will take on that role, and she will announce that, you know, she'll announce that she will marry whoever wins, so that she can kill them and take their beating heart. She has the book that I'm guessing the ritual is going to be in, but she hasn't found the ritual yet. And so basically everything that happened on the back, when the synopsis has happened or we know it's going to happen, and things are pointing that way. Basically, we're at the point, I think, where Karina is going to announce the winner, and Malik is going to trick his way in. He's made the deal, and things are just going to go from there, I think. It is dual perspective, but it's dual perspective third person, which I prefer personally in a dual perspective book. We tend to have one chapter in Malik's point of view, and then we switch to Karina, and then back to Malik, back to Karina. And there's enough intrigue with both storylines at the moment so that I don't prefer one to the other. And I think with Malik, he runs the risk of being a bit whiny. But at the moment, I'll let him off because he's been kicked out of his home. He believes he's cost his sisters a chance at a new life. 3, he thinks it's his fault that Nadia was taken, and 4, he entered into pretty much an unwinnable bargain. So I'll let him off for being a little bit whiny at this point. And Karina, she's dealing with grief, but she's she's not really coming across as self-entitled, I think. She's just dealing with grief, and nobody is there to support her with that, in my opinion, so far. I know this is going to be enemies to lovers, or at least hired killer, but we shall see where that goes. And I mean, they do seem to have something in common, which is grief, so I suppose relationships have been built on less. And I think for the rest of the night, I have my journal entry to do for today, because I have been lacking in that. And then I'll probably do that and then read, and that's me pretty much set up for the night. So I think with that, it's the end of this video. So give it a like if you like it, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see this, talk about these, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.